Hey there. Ritual here to give a big shout out to you for making it through the hectic holiday season. The magic of those family moments, that was you. And now there's new milestones to prep for in 2025. This new year, check clean, quality pregnancy nutrient support off your to-do list with Ritual. We've done the research to create science-backed pregnancy support like our prenatal multivitamin, natal choline, and fertility support, all designed to be taken alongside each other. But don't just take our word for it. They're also third-party tested for microbes and heavy metals and Clean Label Project certified. So whether you're trying, thinking about trying, or already there, we don't have to tell you that prioritizing yourself can be the hardest part. That's why we're helping you get started today with 30% off a 3-month supply for a limited time at ritual.com/podcast. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Oh, sorry, that's for a Democrat show.
No matter what the technical difficulty is, this man is a professional. He goes all the way.
What you represent to them is freedom.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This will allow me to retort.
Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver Common Sense Show. 8 p.m. on shrmedia.com.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, of course, Jersey Joe. Making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join a live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Just click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. If you want to watch the broadcast, you can go to Reaver.one, click on the live video, and watch a live stream. Well, this isn't exactly a Reaver rant, but before we get on with the show, I want to just touch on yesterday's attacks just a little bit. And my heart does go out to all the families. But there are ones that you never hear about in any of these terrorist attacks, whether it's Paris, France, San Bernardino, Belgium, and the list goes on and on and on. The ones I worry about the most are the emergency workers. From the law enforcement to the firefighter to the paramedic and EMTs to the ER staff. These are the people that not only run towards the danger, but run towards life-ending situations. They are the ones who suffer in silence. They see unspeakable things in their normal, everyday workday. Unspeakable things that would give the average person nightmares. However, on days such as yesterday, these images never fade. Those horrors last a lifetime. These are the people I worry about the most. Not because I do not care about the victims, because I do. And don't let anyone tell you otherwise. I have seen firsthand the results of these same type of acts during my 20 years as an EMT and night firefighter. I too know the visions they will see when they close their eyes. I too well know the sleepless nights that they will endure. Do not bother wasting your time asking if they are okay, because they will always say they are okay. For it is ingrained in them to worry about others, for they are the last hope that they believe that they must be okay. But in coming days and months, the visions that everyone else will have forgotten will still be there for those few brave who risk it all. Those are the ones that I worry about. Those are the ones that I know are going through hell. And for those that I've worked with over the years, it was a privilege and an honor. I always knew you had my back, and I hopefully you know, I always had your back. All right, let's get on with the show. Glenn Beck has been bashing Christians for voting for Trump. This psychopath, this false prophet, is now telling people evangelists have not been listening to their gods. Well, the evangelists have been voting in mass droves for Trump. Maybe they are listening to their God, and Beck is just not listening. But, wait a minute, he's not an evangelist. And he practices a religion that has a different God. So, how does he know which God to listen to? Because it seems like it depends on what area he is. That depends on what religion he's going to follow. Radio and TV host Glenn Beck trashed Christians again for not voting for Ted Cruz. If only they would see the light of Ted Cruz. Oh, God. During his speech today in Utah, Glenn Beck called for Mormons to rise up. Beck also scolded evangelists in the South for not listening to the voice of God or the voices he's hearing in his head anyway. I guess he's starting to believe his own rhetoric and think he's God. I'm serious. He has gone off the deep end and has been running at the mouth and thinks he is God. Utah has an incredible opportunity. So many Christians have been standing up, but all throughout the South, the evangelists are not listening to their gods. Let's rise up, a standard in Utah. No. Well, let's have a listen to the whack job.
Big shout out to you for making it through the hectic holiday season. This new year, get clean, quality pregnancy nutrient support off your to-do list, including Ritual's best-selling Essential Prenatal Multivitamin, designed with 12 traceable key ingredients to support a healthy pregnancy. With big changes coming up, take the small steps now and start today with 30% off a 3-month supply at ritual.com/podcast. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Let me testify to you now. The Book of Mormon is a book that was given to us for this time in this land. And it explains exactly what it's going to look like when trouble comes. And I don't know about you, but I can put new names against old names in the stories and it all works. So here's what I'm saying to you.
Now, let's stop right there, because he says he could put new names for old names and make it work. Well, you could do that just about anything. You can change the people and the time and make it work. It's not that difficult. Well, we can see because Glenn Beck's trying to do it. You could change anything, change the people that are in the story and make it relevant to any time period.
The reason why I'm bringing this up, and I've been wanting to say this for a very long time, where the hell are the priesthood holders?
Where the hell? Damn. I mean, I know I speak my mind, and he has a right to speak his, but when you're talking about religion, where the hell are my priest holders at? Well, maybe they're in hell, the way you're discussing it.
Thank you. It's time to stand up. It's time to stand up. You know what time it is. The priesthood is supposed to rise up and restore the Constitution. Now is that time. Period.
I'm trying to remember the rapper with the big clock on. Oh my God, I can't remember his name. That's what he's sounding like right now. Remember that rapper out of the 80s, late 80s, early 90s, and he had that big clock on his chest, and, dude, what time is it? Look at your damn wrist, idiot.
The Book of Mormon trusts in you that you will see these times and you will run to the truth. I come to you today to give you this message. Utah has an incredible opportunity. So many Christians have been standing up, but all throughout the South, the evangelicals are not listening to their God.
Real quick, Flavor Flav. That's who he's reminding me of. Flavor Flav. You know? What time is it? Okay. I know. I changed subjects.
Let us raise a standard in Utah. Let us do this one thing perfectly right.
I think he is off his meds. No, I don't think I know that man is off his meds. He has gone off the deep end. And if I was Cruz, I would be running away from that man so fast. Because even if Cruz wins the nomination, this man behind him will destroy his campaign. I have read and heard so many people say that they have run away from Ted Cruz because of that nut job. Not because of religion, because of this nut job. This nut job is like those TV evangelists of the 80s. Whew. He's just gone. Get the white coats out. But seriously, he's going to chastise and tell me what God I'm not listening to. Number one, I didn't know God got involved in elections. His candidate is losing. So if his candidate would be winning, and he won in Utah, so that is the act of God. But his candidate losing is people not listening to God. I think I smell something a little weird here. Because maybe, Beck, maybe, it is God. And God's plan for him to lose. Maybe it is for God's plan for Cruz to be humbled. How about that, Beck? Oh, no, because you are some kind of Messiah, and you know how to talk to God. You fucking nut job. You are off the rail 100% nut. I'm looking over because my green screen, I guess, is acting up a little bit, and I'm getting, like, pixelation. You're seeing through me on my shirt. See, I am the Holy Ghost. No, I ain't gonna joke around with that. All right. That one I apologize for. I was trying to, in my head, make fun of dipshit Beck. He irks me. I'm not largely religious. I'm not one of those that, is going to be quoting scriptures nonstop, all that. I have my belief. But one thing I'm not going to do is tell someone they're not living their life right, that they're not voting right because it doesn't agree with me, and use religion as the excuse to scold somebody for doing something different than me. That right there, Beck is the man that gives religion a bad name. Beck is the one that gives Republicans a bad name about religion. Now, I'm not saying religion is bad. Beck is bad for religion. If you're a fan of his, great. That works for you. But what he's doing is pushing people away. And if you don't want those people, you are going to find yourself very alone in the party. When you scold somebody over religion like that, you are pushing people away. Maybe that's why the evangelists in the South did not vote for Cruz. The man's head is blowing up bigger than a balloon. Now you have Cruz parroting Trump. The same stuff he bashed Trump for on immigration, he is now copying and trying to make it sound like it was his idea. I know the Cruz fans go, no, he did not. No, he did not. Cruz is a trained liar. He is a lawyer. He is trained to lie. And he knows that even if caught in a lie, that lie will still cause doubt. That is what a lawyer does. That is what Ted Cruz is trained in. I don't believe Ted Cruz for a minute on anything. He could say the sky is blue and it's sunny outside, and I would walk outside before believing him. I don't trust the man. He has lied way too many. And I know supporters, he hasn't lied about anything. Well, you're not listening to the truth then. The truth is a fickle little bitch. You have to seek it to find it. I'm not saying you need to run away from Cruz, but the shit of he is not a liar, he is never he's a fucking lawyer. He is a lawyer. He is trained to lie. That's what they do. Now, I'm not trying to bash lawyers here. No. My father-in-law is a very damn good lawyer. Lawyers have their place. But, as I've said, they are trained to lie. And that is what Ted Cruz is doing over and over again. Now he is into stealing. That's what pisses me off. And you got a man preaching, and he is not a Mormon, but he had Beck up there running his mouth about Mormonism and screaming that Beck was this and that and that and this of the Mormons and the next coming of this. Cruz never denied or told Beck to stop. Or he got up on stage and said, no. He is being held up as a false prophet, a false god. And he is not stopping that narrative from Beck. And it's revolting. It's disgusting. But, of course, they think it's perfectly acceptable. And they will continue to do it. It is one thing to talk about religion and be religious. It's another one to shove it down everybody's throat and try to force it upon them like Beck does. Cruz has other things he can stand on to run for president. Maybe if he didn't pull all this lying bullcrap, he would still have a lot more supporters. But his mouth got away from him. His thing yesterday, blaming Trump for the attacks, is getting tiresome. You're sounding like a liberal. It is disgusting. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on hppundit.com and shrmedia.com. We'll be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying calf for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it is the Reaver After Dark, hosted by Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Jersey Crash, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you missed any of the Reaver of Common Sense or Reaver After Dark show, just go to Reaver.one. While you're there, click the like button so you can keep up with everything Reaver. Now, back to the show.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
Welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe. Trying to make sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here, and we have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat, that is, if I could speak right. Go to shrmedia.com, click on the chat room button, join the conversation, and if you want to watch a live stream, go to Reaver.one, click on the live video button, watch the live stream. I am just so sick of some of this stuff that's going on. Mr. Anti-establishment Ted Cruz got another endorsement, which I don't care that he got an endorsement. But it's funny, all the endorsements he's getting lately are from the establishment. Jeb Bush is now, which we knew it was coming. I mean, Jeb Bush's brother is now working for Ted Cruz, along with all the several high donors or something like that, are now working on Ted Cruz's campaign. Oh, damn. Now, Neil Bush hasn't had a clean record, which I find funny. Mr. Religious, spotless, clean. And, yeah, it's getting a little dirty there, Mr. Anti-Establishment. I'm anti-establishment, but I have Lindsey Graham backing me. I have Lindsey Graham going and fundraising for me, and now I have Jeb Bush backing me. I'm so anti-establishment. Said it before, and I'm going to say it again. He is like that little kid that screams about the popular kids. And then one day they invite him in, and the whole time he wanted to be part of the popular kids. That's Ted Cruz for you. Now, Donald Trump warned Brussels, Belgium, and the New York Times mocked him for it. See, I don't want to say he warned them about something specific, but on January 27th, when Donald Trump gave a stark warning to Brussels, Belgium, and the New York Times mocked him for it. January 27th, New York Times piece asked by the Fox Business News anchor about the feasibility of his proposal to ban foreign Muslims from entering the United States. Mr. Trump argued that Belgium and France had been blighted by the failure of Muslims in these countries to integrate. There is something going on, Maria. Go to Brussels, go to Paris, go to different places. There is something going on, and it's not good. Where they want Sharia law, where they want this, where they want things that, there has to be some assimilation. There is no assimilation. There is something bad going on. Warning to his theme, he added that Brussels was in a particular dire state. You go to Brussels. I was in Brussels a long time ago, 20 years ago. So beautiful. Everything is so beautiful. It's like living in a hellhole right now. For Belgians, already reeling from the recent terrorist plot and chronically dysfunctional government, Mr. Trump's words were enough to induce a fit of some worthiness, and in some cases of Mr. Trump himself. But don't take my word for it. Yeah, I know I'm getting fancy with the sound clips.
Back, a London court accusing Russian President Vladimir Putin of ordering the murder of a former KGB agent on English soil. But Republican presidential frontrunner Donald Trump told me Putin is innocent until proven guilty.
Well, I don't know that anything's been determined. I mean, you're telling me something.
Well,
I don't know that it's been determined.
Okay, reports say that
has Putin said, have they found him guilty? I don't think they found him guilty. They say a lot of things about me that are untrue,
if
too.
If Putin said, we're going to murder somebody in America, and then there's all this radioactive stuff all over America, and you're president, are you going to do anything
about it? If he did it, fine. But I don't know that he did it. You know, people are saying they think it was him, it might have been him, it could have been him. But, Maria, in all fairness to Putin, I don't know, you know, and I'm not saying this because he says Trump is brilliant and leading everybody. The fact is that, you know, he hasn't been convicted of anything. You know, some people say he absolutely didn't do it. First of all, he says he didn't do it, but many people say it wasn't him. So who knows who did it?
But, I mean, the relationship with Putin, I mean, you can't go on saying, oh, he thinks I'm brilliant and just ignore the things that he's doing, right?
I say this. I think it would be great if we had a good relationship with Russia. I think it would be great. I think it would be great if we had a good relationship with China. You know, I bring people together. I don't divide. People think just the opposite. They think, oh, he's very verbose. And I happen to be a smart person. I bring people together. Or you couldn't build a great company like that.
You don't think you've alienated people? I mean, come on. You don't think you've alienated
people? But ultimately, I bring them together. And I'll tell you what. I tell the truth. Whether it was with respect to the Muslims, hey, Maria, there's something going on. And we have a president that doesn't want to even talk about radical Islamic terrorism. I bring people together. I've had Muslims call me up and say thank you because they need dialogue. I bring people together. Obama has been the great divider.
To be fair on the Muslim comment, I mean, we do admit 100,000 Muslims on a permanent basis here every year, and this is going to be or is already the largest religion in the world. Can you really say, let's do a temporary halt?
There's something going on, Maria. Go to Brussels, go to Paris, go to different places. There's something going on, and it's not good, where they want Sharia law, where they want this, where they want things that, you know, there has to be some assimilation. There is no assimilation. There's something bad going on, and until we find out what it is so we can correct it, you go to Brussels. I was in Brussels a long time ago, 20 years ago. So beautiful, everything's so beautiful. It's like living in a hellhole right now. You go to these different places, there's something going on.
Let me move on and ask you about Michael Bloomberg. Obviously, the reports are that he's getting ready to enter the race. Now,
and he's gotten mocked for those statements. Now, he did not directly, he's not premonition. Oh, my God, this is going to happen. But you can see in some areas where I didn't hear Cruz talking about this. I didn't hear Kasich, Clinton, Sanders. They're too afraid to talk about this stuff. Well, now Ted Cruz is trying to mimic Trump. Of course, he's going to try saying the same stuff. It's worked for Trump. It hasn't worked for Cruz. He looks like, what it looks like with everything going on in his campaign, it looks and reeks of desperation. And there's the new issue that he's trying to deny. He has not condemned the workings of it. And there's always these little underhanded Obama-esque tactics being used that always come back to Cruz's campaign, but he always, I didn't have nothing to do with that. I had nothing to do with that. I'm innocent. Now, they were sending out in Utah pictures of Melania Trump back in her days of modeling, which even I looked at the picture and I've seen more than that on a beach. There's nothing, no female parts showing. Oh, I'm sorry, the side of her buttocks. Her cleavage is showing. Notice I didn't say her breasts are showing. Her cleavage is showing. But they sent this out in Utah. Cruz's campaign will stoop to no end. They will attack Mr. Trump's wife. I find that vile And I find that sick as hell. But of course you have Cruz. I didn't do nothing. I had nothing to do with it. Seems like every time there is a scandal going around, it always follows its way to Cruz as the origin. And another similarity between Cruz and Obama, every time it's, I didn't do nothing, I had nothing to do with that, but I'll get to the bottom of it, I had nothing to do with that. Junior senators having nothing done with anything. And I'm serious. Obama, junior senator. Ted Cruz, junior senator. Both of them lawyers. Both of them Harvard graduate lawyers. Both of them say they are constitutional lawyers. They both have the same exact supporters. Or same type, I should say. Same type. It is scary as hell. The common denominators between Obama and Cruz. And yes, one's on the right and one's on the left. But that's also another similarity. They both are far sides of their parties. And for me, watching Obama the last 7 years, seven and a half? Not 7.5 yet. But watching the last 7 years is a look into the future of a Cruz candidacy. Nothing will get done. Everything will be stalled. Everybody will be fighting. And nothing will get done. Except the Democrats, who have a better PR department, will be lambasting the Republicans as the obstructionists. It has been made, the accusations have been laid, and now Ted Cruz will make it come true. And then people will be sick and tired of it, and tired of the obstructionist Republicans, and we will no longer get conservative values in office again. There is too many similarities between the two in my mind. You can deny it. You can say, no, that's perfectly fine. That's your right. I see too many similarities. And I can't. I can't look past that. But this, every time there's an issue so far in this campaign with some shenanigans, it has gone back, and it always goes to Cruz. Cruz has said he used and he thought it was great tactics and all that, Obama's election. The tactics he used. Cruz complimented it and used it in his Senate run, and now he's trying to use it to run for president. The problem is we have seen those moves before. I have chastised and complained about those moves. I am not a hypocrite, and I will not back a candidate who is using those tactics. It is appalling. Cruz's campaign is going as low as Obama's. But the difference is Cruz does not have the charisma that Obama had. There's a certain characteristic with Obama. And Cruz doesn't have it. So he can't use those same tactics because it's not going to work for him. And trust me, it hurts me to say that Obama and give Obama a backhanded compliment like that. But it's the truth. Cruz is trying to use that, and it's not working for him. And this whole new model of, not that we're going to win the election, we're going to stop Trump from getting the nomination. Like he has some sick idea that he would actually be given the nomination. He's okay with a contested convention because he's still in the running. But a brokered convention? No, that's stealing the election. Oh, when it can take you out of the running, it's a bad idea. But when it lets the loser possibly win, oh, I see, that's a good idea when you can advance from it. But when it can screw you over, oh, you're against it, and oh my God, no, we can't do that. That's a bad idea. But if it can give me the win, even though I didn't deserve it, I'm all for it. Thanks for showing your convictions, Cruz. And every time he shows his convictions, it makes me want to throw up. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on HighPlainsPundit.com and SHRmedia.com. We'll be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on SHRmedia.com and HighPlainsDailyNews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking, drinking, drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on SHRmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it is the Reaver After Dark, hosted by Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Jersey Crash, right here on SHRmedia.com and HighPlainsDailyNews.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
if you missed any of the Reaver of Common Sense or Reaver After Dark show.
I don't wanna be me. I don't wanna be me anymore.
Just go to Reaver.one. While you're there, click the like button so you can keep up with everything Reaver. Now, back to the show.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Joe. I got stuck with an article, not stuck, but I got reading an article that kind of had me not paying attention. And one of the things is it's coming out that anti-Trump protesters have been asked and have admitted they answered a Craigslist ad. It is, I mean, we all know it. We all know it. But it's coming out the truth, and that is not protesters. It is coming out that they hired these so-called quote-unquote protesters. They were paid to go and cause a scene. Is that really protesting? Is that really showing that there's a issue with the candidate? Or is it, hey, free money, let's go do this. I'll go bit. You know what? I'm a Trump supporter. You want me to go? You're going to pay me a big amount of money to go? Hey, I'll go. I will go. And I'll put my vote behind Trump because that's where it really matters. But if it was Trump caught paying protesters to go protest and disturb Bernie Sanders or Hillary Clinton, the mainstream media would be all over it. Where's the double standards? And the article I got stuck on, not stuck, but I was reading and trying to comprehend. I understand the gist of it. And it's off of, what is it, Printly, the PRNTLY. And I know anybody and everybody writes these articles and it's printed. But it's talking about the count right now, the delegate count. And right now, I think Trump's at 739, it says where he's at. And I believe that is correct. And I don't have, let me see if I can get my calculator up without interfering with the show. So, Trump is at 739. 739. He needs 1237. Yes, that's 498 he needs. So, he needs 498 delegates. California is 179, and he's leading California. New York is another place he's leading. That's 95. Connecticut is 50. And that puts him at 324. That'd be 107. Realistically, he's not that far off. He is not that far off, especially if he gets California, New York, and Connecticut. Then he just needs 174, and that's not hard to get. When you're looking at Wisconsin, Delaware, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Rhode Island, a lot of that Northeast corridor that Ted Cruz does not care for. Ted Cruz complains about the New York value. Well, that value is the Northeast corridor, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, Rhode Island. As I said before, we can all fight amongst ourselves, and I've bashed New York when I was living up in New Jersey. It was like two brothers arguing. But anytime someone wanted to start bashing New York that wasn't from up there, I'd tell them to shove it up their backside. And Cruz's mouth, and some dumb pundit last night was talking, and the announcer asked, is New York Values comic going to come back to haunt Ted Cruz? Is Trump going to use that for New York? Because for some reason, Ted Cruz thinks he has a chance of winning New York. All the polls are showing Trump ahead. And he thinks, even after he insulted all of us in that area, he can win it. Well, I wouldn't vote for Ted Cruz if he was the last fucking candidate. Plain and simple. I would not vote Ted Cruz if he was the last candidate. You want to insult me? That's fine. Insult me all you want. Your little boy toy jock supporter, Beck, wants to insult me. See, that's the stupidity, and I've been saying it since the beginning of the election. I don't understand with all this insulting the supporters that have been going on from Kasich, Rubio, Cruz. See, if Trump is attacked, he fires back onto the candidate. He insults the candidate. He's not dumb enough to insult the supporters like Ted Cruz has. And as I said, his little jock supporter, Glenn Beck. Glenn Beck has lambasted us. It's like, how many ways can we count the ways? And they think it's smart enough, so let's go insult the supporters. Then if we have to go into that state, well, they'll still vote for me, you know. Yeah. And then, even if I get the nomination, they'll vote for me in the general. Yeah, you're fucking retarded. And I know, I shouldn't be using that. He has to be mentally retarded to think that after insulting us, we're going to vote for him. How simple-minded does Cruz have to be? And that's why I said that. He's got to be simple-minded. He has to have a mental retardation to think that he can insult us. His little boy toy jock supporter, Glenn Beck, can insult us. That's easy. I won't deal with you. Surprise! You moron. But they keep saying, well, there's no chance. It's a very far off chance that Trump can get the nomination through 1237 delegates. Bullshit. I've been looking at the math from the beginning now going, he's leading here, and here, and here. We got winner-take-alls in these states. Shit, it's very easy for him to get it. He was ahead in the count than Romney was in 2012, and Romney got it. And if a moron like Romney could get it, I think even Cruz should be able to get it, but he's showing that he can't even get it. He has everybody in the establishment backing him, but yet, I just... But then last night also, oh my God. So, Bernie the Pervert Sanders, not call him that because of feel the burn, feel my burn, feel Bernie. My God, you're a pervert. He had some college kid in the background as he was giving his I lost speech. But then again, that last I saw, he smoked Hillary in Utah. I'm double checking, but I believe that was the case. He smoked her. Give me 1 1 second. Did it not update? Huh. Yeah, they did. I was looking at the delegate counts. Trump is at 739 and Cruz is at 465. Let's look at the Democrats. And Sanders won last night, and 79.7% of the vote in Utah, with 82% reporting. That's pretty dang good. That's pretty good. Well, let me see. We're going to take the break a little bit early. And when we come back, we're going to go back with the Sanders talk. And you're listening to SHRmedia.com with the Reaver of Common Sense. Also, High Plains Daily News. We'll be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on SHRmedia.com and HighPlainsDailyNews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cough was stupid, bro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking, drinking, drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on SHRmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it is the Reaver After Dark, hosted by Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Jersey Crash, right here on SHRmedia.com and HighPlainsDailyNews.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you missed any of the Reaver of Common Sense or Reaver After Dark show, just go to Reaver.one. While you're there, click the like button so you can keep up with everything Reaver. Now, back to the show.
listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to be part of the show, join the conversation. Go to shrmedia.com, click on the chat room button, join the conversation. If you want to watch a live stream, we now have a live video feed. Go to Reaver.one, click on the live video button. Total brain fart there. Then you can watch my shirt light up with the background. Having trouble with the damn green screen today in the camera. There we go. Yeah, I think I'm going to stop shaving my head. I got a big shiny spot on top of my head. So, yes, Sanders. Let's go to Sanders. Yes, he won one state last night, and he won convincingly. But that goes to show you, yeah, Cruz won it too. And they're both getting their ass kicked. So, the Mormons in Utah, well, what does that say? I'm not going to attack Mormon religion. That was a cheap shot and comment. I'm good at those. But yeah, U.S. Well, I mean, when he did his speech after losing Arizona, there was a gentleman behind him. It looked like a college kid. Ugh, sneeze. And it looked like he was a college kid, and dang it. Another one. Let's see if I can get one more. Nope, don't think so. There was a college kid standing behind Bernie Sanders with students for the Palestine State or something. It was a pro-Palestine shirt, which makes me want to shake my head, because most of those people don't even know what the hell's going on over there. Another one, dang it. Hopefully that's the last one. Going into a little sneezing episode here. But also, Bernie has come out. The U.S. can't just take Israel's side. We've ignored them doing bad things time and time again. The bad things that I've only seen them point out is when they defend themselves. When they have been attacked by Palestine and they return fire. It seems this country, Republican and Democrat alike, have turned into a bunch of pussies. I'm serious. You attack somebody, whether verbal or physical like this, and they don't think you have the right to defend yourself. You don't have the right to return fire, whether verbal or physical. I mean, they go after Trump all the time where he gets attacked and he responds and they complain about it. They never complain about the person doing the attacking. They complain about the person defending themselves. Republican and Democrat alike. And this is exactly a good example. Israel's doing bad. It's protecting itself. Democrat presidential candidate Senator Bernie Sanders argued that the United States time and time again has looked aside when Israel has done some bad things. And if we are going to go forward, it cannot be that the United States just takes the side of Israel. Sanders said that while the U.S. should ensure Israel's security and independence remains intact, we have also got to work with the Palestinians and what that means. We have got to recognize that for example, in Giza, you have got an unemployment rate of 44%. You have people living in horrific poverty. You have a community that was destroyed. Well, maybe they shouldn't have been fucking attacking that country next to them. Plain and simple. When you have a group controlling you, like Hamas, and part of their charter is the death of all Jewish people, guess what? You're going to get destroyed cities when you attack the country next to you. Because if they don't return fire, they're not going to be a country that long. Oh. But he tries to play the fence here. He tries to go both sides of the fence. And he says, I think that overwhelmingly the United States time and time again has looked aside when Israel has done some bad things. I think, for example, that the growth of settlements in Palestine territories is not acceptable to me and not conducive to the peace process. I think that the kind of destruction that was racked on Gaza during the war was way above what was needed to be done for military purpose. When you go to war and you go to fight, you fight to win. You don't, oh, that's enough damage. We'll back off now. You keep hammering them until they surrender. There is no such thing as going way above. And that's the problem with these peace-loving, tree-hugging pussies like Sanders. A lot of civilians were killed. Well, when your country starts a war, it happens. Nobody complains when our citizens get killed. A lot of hospitals and schools and apartments were destroyed above and beyond what had to be done. There is no such thing above and beyond. So look, I think there is no question that there is enough blame to go around on both sides. Israel has the right to defend itself against terrorist attack against Hezbollah, against Hamas, but I think the United States is stronger when we work with both sides. Yeah, I'm starting to, maybe Sanders likes to go both sides.
You've said that the U.S. should be even-handed when it comes to dealing with the Israelis and the Palestinians. So does that mean that the U.S. should remain neutral to achieve peace?
No, what it means is that if we want lasting peace in the Middle East, we have got to obviously make sure.
Swear, every time he talks, I think of like Hickory Dickory Dock. You know, I start hearing nursery rhymes the way this guy talks. If we want peace in the Middle East,
that the security and the independence of Israel remains intact. That is not a debate. Israel must continue to exist as an independent, free state. But if we are going to have lasting peace, we have also got to work with the Palestinians. And what that means, we have got to recognize that in Gaza, for example, in Gaza, you got an unemployment rate of 44%. You have people living in horrific poverty. You have a community that was destroyed. So if we are going to go forward, it cannot be that the United States just side of Israel. We've got to work with both communities to try to do what is very, very difficult, and that is create a lasting peace in the region.
Do you think the U.S. has not been even-handed up till now?
Right, I do not think so. I think that overwhelmingly the United States time and time again has looked aside when Israel has done some bad things. I think, for example, that the growth of settlements in Palestinian territory is not acceptable to me and not conducive to the peace process. I think that the kind of destruction that was wreaked on Gaza during that war was way above what needed to be done for military purposes. A lot of civilians were killed. A lot of hospitals and schools and apartments were destroyed above and beyond what had to be done. So look, I think there is no question that there's enough blame to go around on both sides. Israel has the right to defend itself against terrorist attacks, against Hezbollah, against Hamas. But I think the United States is stronger when we work with both sides.
Secretary,
I think he has smoked one too many of those wacky weed cigarettes. I think he has fried his hippie-ass brain. They attacked way above and beyond. There's no such thing. You hit your opponent your enemy until they submit, until they give up. See, that right there tells me I don't want him as the president because he wouldn't know how if we were attacked or if we had to go to war. He would not know how to run a war. All right, I want you to go up there. I want you to fire 5 shots, and that's enough. Then I want you to retreat back. I don't want you to do any more attack. That'll be enough. We don't want to go above and beyond. Just shoot 5 bullets at them. Not 6, not 7, 5. That's all you get. And then you're going to retreat back to the base because we don't want to go above and beyond the means of destroying our enemy. Sir, we got a report. The whole battalion was wiped. Well, how many bullets did they fire at them? I don't want to make sure that they didn't go above and beyond. Sir, they're all dead. That doesn't matter. We don't want to go above and beyond. Did they fire more than 5 shots? If not, I want you to court-martial all those sons of bitches. I can honestly see dipshit Bernie Sanders doing that. God. And he wants to lead the United States. He could barely lead a little league, let alone the United States. All right, we're going to go out there. We're going to play the game. The score is we're down 5 runs. Now, I want you to go out there. I want you to hit 5 home runs. No more than 5, because we don't want to beat them too bad. Sir, we're losing. We don't want to go above and beyond what needs to be done here. Oh, my God. I just want us to score 1 touchdown in the Super Bowl. Sir, we're down 3 scores. Just 1 touchdown and we will be victorious. God, oh, what a moron. Now this one, I started chuckling when I saw this one. I started chuckling. Piers Morgan, when it comes to terror, isn't it time we started listening seriously to Trump? Oh, you see the shit's happening in Europe. Shit's happened. It's pretty bad in the UK, your home. So now you want to get tough. Sorry, we can't do it. We don't have any guns. You took them away from us, Piers Morgan. We can't do it. Sorry. Go protect yourself. Go run over to France. They'll help you. Go run to Germany. They'll help you. Yeah, they'll help you fight Islam, all right? He's a chicken shit. But now, when it comes to terror, isn't it time we start listening seriously to Trump? How many more? That's all I could think this morning as news broke of yet another ISIS terror attacks, this time in Brussels. How many more innocent men, women, and children are going to be blown to pieces by these murderous bastards? How many more airports, train stations, sports stadiums, restaurants, or concert halls will be obliterated in a hail of suicide bombs and bullets? Well, you see, if you ban the guns, they won't be able to have the bullets. You moron. This is exact. It's a bull. So, Piers Morgan, if people in France could have been armed to protect themselves, there would not be that bad of an incident in Paris, you moron. God. The people have a right to protect themselves. But you cried, no, they don't. How many more leaders will wring their hands on national television afterwards? Maybe you need to threaten that you're going to leave a country and they'll stop having terroristic attacks. That's it. Threaten that you're going to leave Belgium. Moron. Spout pointless platitudes about the poor, brave victims and heroic emergency services. Yeah. Spout pointless platitude about the victims and the emergency workers. Go fuck yourself. This guy wanted to disarm everybody and their mothers. And then he's going to sit there and talk about leaders. I know he's agreeing with Trump, and I'm a Trump supporter, but it still doesn't mean I agree. This guy's a fucking idiot. He's a talking idiot. He's a waste of oxygen. I'm sick of this, aren't you? We've been for a while, but pussies like you keep tying our hands, keep tying military personnel's hands from winning the war. Sick of feeling sick about such endless, senseless barbarism. Yes, because you're part of the problem, you dumbass. You keep restricting our military from doing their jobs. You are one of the problems that keep talking how we shouldn't be doing this, we shouldn't be doing that. You put such rules on our military, they can't do anything. So you wind up with this problem because our military can't defend ourselves. The inherent problem which causes it, chaotic, war-torn instability in the Middle East, is getting worse, not better, just as the financially and military resources of the enemy is growing greater, not reducing, because you're stopping our military. You're one of those idiot mouthpieces out there for the liberals that is handcuffing our military. Maybe if more countries allowed their citizens to arm themselves, they would think twice before trying to do something. And he goes on, America has a D-mob happy President Obama eking out his last few months. You were a cheerleader for him. So don't you now all of a sudden turn around and start bashing him. You were one of his cheerleaders. Now you want to bash him. A man whose famous leading from behind philosophy to foreign policies has been partly responsible for the war in Syria raging uncontrollable for 5 years. You were the ones that backed them. And now you want to bash him? Where were you when the rest of us were going at it and trying to correct the problem? You were sitting there making fun, degrading us, demeaning us, belittling us. Now you want to sit there and go, oh, Europe's getting attacked. Oh my God, we got to do something. You had no problem when we were getting attacked. God, I think that he's just a waste of oxygen. He's going to bash Merkel. Decision to let millions of migrants into the country is already seen as an utter disaster. You wanted this. You were backing this. You were insulting everybody at every chance that said anything negative, and now you want to jump on the bandwagon because you want to get your popularity back, so the only way to do that is to jump with the majority and speak their tune. Well, you know what? You are a lost cause. I'm so sick of people like that. Piss off. Piers Morgan, just go fuck himself and have fun doing it. I'm so tired of pieces of shit like that. He has bashed all of us conservatives for years. And now that the shit's hit the fan in Europe, now he wants to start agreeing. Oh my God, we got to do this and this. No, we don't. You have handcuffed. You're one of those mouthpieces that was a cheerleader for Obama when it came to handcuffing our military. You stifled our ability because you ran your mouth. Now you want to get popular again and you're scared because Europe is getting attacked? Go the fuck over there and run your mouth. I'm so sick of pieces of shit like you, Piers Morgan. I thought you said if we did not enact gun bans, you were going to leave the country. Well, you're still here, aren't you? When are you going to fucking leave? And he goes on, Britain surely a target anytime soon. Of course, so you have how many no-go zones in Britain? You can't get in several areas. The police can't even go in there. And the warring politicians are too distracted by the upcoming EU referendum in June. Yeah. They're trying to save their country one way. They can't be fighting all the battles. First, they got to get out of that disastrous EU, that socialist program that has failed. So nobody seems to be doing anything concrete to stop ISIS or even suggesting a new way to do so, given the spectacular lack of sex to date. Yeah? And what are you suggesting? I believe Piers Morgan was one of those that didn't want Donald Trump. That was agreeing Donald Trump should be banned from the UK. And now, as he goes on, well, almost nobody. By coincidence, I had an interview scheduled today with the world's most controversial man, Donald Trump, for my UK show, Good Morning Britain. It was said a couple of weeks ago but the timing was eerily Here is one man who definitely has a plan to deal with ISIS terrorism. Several plans, in fact. The problem is that people don't like them. Well, a lot of people don't anyway. Now, I wouldn't say a lot. Trump, current frontrunner of the Republican nomination, wants to hit ISIS so hard they never recover. I've been saying that for a while. We need to hit them so fucking hard that no terrorist group, no country would stand up to us again. At least for decades upon decades. I'm not saying use nukes, but you know what? We hit Japan so goddamn hard, nobody messed with us for how many decades? They were too afraid to. Then we started to get weak. We got soft. And I agree with Donald Trump. You got to take them out. You've got to take them out harshly. You got to take them out fast, hard, and make it so no one dares stand up again. For the peace of the world, hit them so damn hard, it puts the fear of Allah in them. Dumbasses like this piece of shit, Piers Morgan, I'm so sick of them running their mouths. Hey, Kel. I've been saying it for a while to hit them so hard it scares the crap out of them. That they will be so scared to do anything. And yes, Trump's sitting there saying, well, we need to go after their families. They attack us, we hit their families. Damn right. They hit our family, we hit their family. What was that out of Untouchables? The Chicago way. You beat one of ours, you shoot one of theirs, they shoot one of ours, you send two of theirs to the morgue, they attack us, we hit them hard and fast. Quit this pussy-ass shit of, oh, they're civilians. No, when it comes to this war, there is no civilians. Their wives and kids are just as much in it as they are. Hit them hard, hit them fast. Make them think twice. Well, we need to do the suicide bombing. Well, wait a minute. If we do that, we're going to piss off the United States. And maybe we'll go over there. No, they're friends with the United States. I know. We'll hit Iraq. They don't like Iraq. They'll leave us alone. Hit them so hard. What's that old expression? Hit them so hard, their mother will feel it. This short-term ban on Muslims entering the United States is perfect also. That is what we need. Damn, I just noticed I'm way over late on a break. I will be right back after this little break. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on High Plains Radio and SHR Media. Be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
to Reaver Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver Common Sense Show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it is the Reaver After Dark, hosted by Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Jersey Crash, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you missed any of the Reaver of Common Sense or Reaver After Dark show,
I don't want to be me. I don't want to be anymore.
just go to Reaver.one. While you're there, click the like button so you can keep up with everything Reaver. Now, back to the show.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe. The Jersey Takeovers are here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to be a part of the show, go to shrmedia.com, click on the chat room button, join the conversation. If you want to watch a live stream, just go to Reaver.one. Click on the live video, and you'll have a live stream of me. I now have Dave and Kel in the chat room. I want to say hi. Last night, for the first time I had a chance, it's not that I haven't wanted to. Kel has her own show. And I got a chance to listen to it. The time frame that she is on is usually I'm either taking a nap or it's when my daughter and my wife get home and I'm spending some quality time with them. And I finally had a chance last night to listen to her, and I love the show. It's the Jihadi Network, I believe it is. I'm pretty sure she'll tell me in a minute that I was wrong and I totally screwed up. And Kel, the shirt issue may be fixed. I may have gotten it fixed last night. I was having a problem with the manufacturer for the shirts and hoodies. They needed a certain type of file. I didn't have it. I contacted my friend. He's the one that came up with my Reaver of Common Sense, the logo. I gave him a Radio Jihad Network is Kel's network and show. It was fabulous. Can't speak highly. I wish I could listen to it more, Kel. It's just the time frame you're on. I'm usually spending some time with my wife and kids. I'm pretty sure you can appreciate that. With the shirts and stuff, I told a friend of mine who does designing and printing and all that, gave him an idea of what I was looking for in a logo. And, I mean, he hit it out of the ballpark with that design. I think I love my logo. He came up with it, but the shirt designer needed it in a PNG with the different layers and all that. I don't understand, so I contacted him last night. He's like, oh, yeah, that'll take me a minute to do. Next thing I know, I had the files. I've sent them over to the manufacturer, and I believe that should be it. I haven't gotten an email saying there's an issue yet. So that should be a good thing. So I think the shirt should be good to go. And I'll find out later on today what's going on with it. In fact, I was able to do a little bit more designing, and I might have I just started doing, I might have a new design for a t-shirt where the front, the left breast area will have the SHR Media logo, and on the back it will have the Reaver of Common Sense. But I'm going to get back to Mr. Piers Morgan. Now, like I said, he's agreeing with Trump has to say, but still, it's now that it's happening close to home. Dave's been coming up with some Dave the unpleasant blind guy. You could search Spreaker. He's all over. He has some great sound bites also, and I'm honored to have two great other commentators that they enjoy coming in and making me laugh during the daytime. They come into the chat room, so if you ever get a chance, just jump in there. They're not always there at first of the show, but they come in a little bit later. He's always coming in with smart ass comments about what I should sell. He had the Reaver of condoms, and now he said if they legalize weed nationwide, I can sell Reaver of Common Sense. He had one for the adult diapers yesterday. I can't remember it, but oh my god. Give me those ideas. I might run with them, Dave. But let's this idiot Piers Morgan, I do not like him. I do not care for this man. He is an opportunistic scumbag. He's agreeing with Trump and what he's saying because now it's hitting close to his home. Oh, the adult diapers are Reaver of colon sense. But with Piers Morgan, it's hitting close to home, and he knows it's any day now Britain's going to get attacked. Now he wants to go on the offensive. Now he wants to agree with people like Trump and get hard on terrorism, get hard on the jihadi Muslim. But where was he before when we were trying to nip this in the bud? Where were people like him when we were all Satanists 4 years ago? When everybody was bashing us, calling us so many different derogatory names. You know, where was everybody then? Where was everybody? Oh, they were calling us what? Xenophobes, racists. God knows. There's so many that are swirling through my head. He was one of them. But now it's hitting close to his home, and his family's in danger. Now he thinks that banning Muslims is a good idea. Now hitting that terrorist so hard that their camel feels it. Now he wants to back up that kind of talk. But where was he a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago? Yeah, this is and that is and thisophobe and thatophobes. I mean, we were called about every name in the book because we saw this problem creeping up. Liberals are too much of a tree-hugging pussies. They don't want to look at the realistic idea of what life is about. They have all these grand visions, these fantasies, these unicorn-riding, tree-hugging ideas, and then they attack people who are looking at the real life, looking at realistically what's going on. And that was Piers Morgan. But now it's getting so close to home, it's scaring the crap out of him, and he knows his family could be in danger. I'm not talking immediate family. There's more than that when you say family. So now I'm supposed to take Piers Morgan seriously because he's worried about his family. Well, I've been worried about my family for years, and I've wanted to protect my family. And you sat there and belittled people like me who carry a gun for protection, who are willing to take the risk to protect our way of life. You are a pussy who stands behind armed security guards and runs your mouth. I don't care if you're now on the side. I don't want to listen to you. You're agreeing with Trump. I don't care. I do not want to listen to an idiot, loudmouth, piece of crap like you. We've been worried about our families, and we've gotten attacked. And now that shit is hitting the fan in Europe, and there's still people, there's still the tree-hugging, unicorn-riding, pussy liberals. They've been brainwashed so much, they still do not think there is a danger out there. Hey, Dan, the boss is here. Everybody, shh. I think he's back because he did this interview for a show. I'm trying to go back up through the article. It's a Europe show, a British show. So I think he's back in there. I'm trying to skim through. Yeah, Good Morning Britain is the show, and he recorded this interview like a week before, and it aired like right before the attacks. I don't want to listen to his mouth. And you get George Clooney, who just shot his mouth off. These elitist liberals that get everything handed to them. They're going to shoot their mouth off about what it's like real life. Wow. Let me stop the press. They get everything handed to them. They get, everybody wants to be their friends, the diners, all the restaurants. They always give them free this, free that. So they think that's the way real life is. You could say you haven't forgotten where you came from. It's one thing to prove it. And when you act like somebody like Clooney, he doesn't even live in the United States anymore. He's shooting his mouth off. And he's talking, you would think that we're a country that hates Mexicans, Muslims. The only one that keeps bringing Mexicans into the immigration issue is the liberals. Yes, we want to build a wall to the south because that right now is the easiest way in. That is one of the easiest ones we could protect with a wall. Has nothing to do with Mexicans. We got people coming from all over South America coming up through the south into the United States. They keep going about Mexicans. We don't hate Muslims. But right now there is a huge issue going on in the Middle East. And we need to protect all of our countries until until we can figure out what's going on, who's who, and what's what in the Middle East. We need to protect ourselves. It's not that we hate anybody. It's that I care more about my family. I care more about my friends than I do people in the Middle East that I don't know. I'm very much about this country. We give a helping hand when we can, but we protect ourselves from being attacked. And if that means stopping Muslims from coming in on a temporary basis, that's fine by me. I don't hate the Middle Eastern people, but I also see the only ones that are being brought in for refugee status are the Muslims. The Christians and the Jews that are coming out of the Middle East, they're being refused access. They're being refused asylum. They're being sent back to be slaughtered. So who's the ones that have the problem with the religious people? It's not the people of the United States. It's our politicians. It's the politicians of the European Union that has the problem with the Christians and the Jews. They're sending them back to be slaughtered. I'm sick of self-righteous people that don't have a grasp on what's going on. And exactly, with these people, I would ignore, but they do. They influence the gullible. And that's why I bring this stuff up. It's not because I want to hear Piers Morgan's opinion, but he influences so many people that are gullible enough to listen to his bullshit. Same with Glenn Beck. You have the right, and I've said it for a long time now, you have the right to pick whatever candidate you want. But when you have Glenn Beck up there bashing people for voting a certain way and telling them that they're not listening to their God, or that they're standing up for this as a religion, and that Cruz is the chosen one, he's the priesthood, he's this, he's that, that is sickening. And those are the people that shouldn't be speaking out, but they have a right to. And I'm going to speak out about what they're saying because I have a right to. And if it is not countered with what they are talking about, it's easier for people to believe what they hear. If they don't hear an opposing viewpoint, then they'll believe the only view they hear. Time is flying by this second hour. It's that time again. It just feels like I was just came out of commercial. Did I? Yeah, I'll just keep going. I mean, I'm not going to get in trouble if I miss a break. I'm sick of people like Piers Morgan running their mouths. I'm sick of Clooney opening his mouth. You know what? Conservatives, we want peace in the country. We want peace in the world. But we have an understanding to obtain peace. Sometimes you got to fight for it. But we also have the people that make us look bad when you have Glenn Beck pushing religion down people's throat as he has been. That turns people away from the Republican Party. And I'm not saying religion's bad. I will never say that. I have my viewpoints on religion. I believe in what I believe in. But I'm not going to push it on everybody else. But when you have somebody like Glenn Beck running his mouth, it pushes people away from the Republican Party. When you have people like Lindsey Graham running their mouth, it pushes people away from the Republican Party. I've said it before, and I will say it again, and I'll keep saying it. Do I think Cruz would make a good president? Yes, I do. Do I think right now is the right time for him? No, I don't. I see some things that I don't like, and I think he needs to grow a little bit more. But I don't think the man is an evil man. Not because he's a conservative, because I don't think that. And yes, Dave, go ahead, send it to me on Facebook. I just don't think right now is the time for a right-wing conservative like Cruz. I think it would turn off a lot of people. Yeah, he might make it in, but he'd probably only last 4 years because he would be so far right-wing, it would push people away for the future. I think in another 4-8 years, that would be a good time. If we get a conservative, a Republican in, and work our way to that. I don't think we could do that right away. And that's my opinion only. But we have too many people in the party, just as there's too many in the left that run their mouth and turn people off from that message. The left is going too far with the socialists. And there's a lot of people. Have a good day, Dan. There's a lot of people that are sick of the socialist movement and are looking to jump ship. You can't expect those people to go from what they've been dealing with and they're sick of the far left to jamming them to the far right. It'll push them away. And I know some people don't care about that. I do. I'm looking at the longevity, what can do the country better in the long run. Not just the immediate, not just right now. I'm trying to look at the long run, what's better for the country. And people like Glenn Beck, Lindsey Graham, George Clooney, they don't make this country look good. They give us actually a negative view of this country. There's a host of them on the left and there's a host of them on the right that I don't like and I think are bad for all of us. But that is one of the things that make this country great. They have a right to speak it. Just as I have the right to speak what I have to say. I don't want to silence their voice. I don't want to silence what they have to say. But I am going to counter what they say if I disagree. And just because someone jumps on the bandwagon and agrees with somebody that I agree with doesn't mean I'm going to jump on their bandwagon and blindly agree with them. And Piers Morgan, yeah, I'm not going to agree with him just because he's agreeing with Trump. I think he's a low-life scum of the earth. Last I heard, maybe it's all settled, but he had to run away from England. He had to run away because there was a bunch of illegal doings that he dealt with. He bashes Fox, but he worked for Rupert Murdoch. So when you hear people like this, yeah, it's nice to hear what he has to say. It can give me a chuckle that he is agreeing because he's fearful now, and it's hitting home. It just... And one thing that it says here, although I publicly criticize Trump for the Muslim short-term ban suggestion. Notice now he's throwing in the short-term ban, and when before it was, oh, the racists wanted to ban all Muslim for all of time. Even though in this country we have banned Muslims before. We have banned nationalities before. We have banned the Japanese, the Germans and Italians from coming in this country at one point in time. We banned the Muslims and Iran from coming in this country at one time. So why is it all of a sudden now a bad thing that we want to protect? Oh, yeah, because that goes against what the liberals have been preaching to us for the last 7 years under Obama. But he goes on and he says, I've known Trump for 10 years and I don't believe he's a racist. There's a lot of people that don't believe he's a racist. And I've seen just as many black people stand up and say, no, I agree with Trump. I like what he has to say, and that they think he'll be better for the black community than Obama ever was. Obama has hurt the black community. He has brought in these illegals, which have no skills, which lower the wage, overfloods the market for lower-end jobs, so therefore the wages stay low. No, the liberals do not want to fix the immigration. The Republicans do not want to fix what's going on with immigration either. Because what would the both parties have to bitch and complain about during an election year? That's their big problem with Trump. Because if he fixes the illegal immigration, if he slows it down, goes back to enforcing immigration laws, what will the Republicans, what will the Democrats have to bitch about? Nothing. They've been bitching and moaning about this immigration system for decades, but neither party has done anything. They've done dog and pony shows to try to make it look like they're doing something. Neither party wants to fix the problems, because then what would they lambast each other for during an election year? Maybe Trump's doing the same thing, but something tells me he's not. I've always gone by, when I did my career as an EMT, and I lasted 20 plus years, the only reason why I stopped is because the injuries I sustained over the years forced me to stop. I want to go back out on the rig. As much as I love doing this, I would rather be out on the ambulance working. But I know if I do it, I could wind up worse off than I am, and possibly even paralyzed. Because of my daughter and my wife, I refuse to go that far. I would rather be out there doing that than here. But it's just totally lost train of thought. Holy shit. Got thinking about my EMS, and it was not a job to me. It was my life. It was my love. I enjoyed going to work. But and that's one, I mean, turn off the magnet. Yeah, you start enforcing immigration. You stop allowing them to have these jobs and start fining and jailing these businessmen. Yes, and they'll start going back. And I agree with that. But the wall isn't just for illegal immigrants who want to come in here for a job. I mean, it's also to help secure the country. And it's not racist or anything to have the wall. Obama is trying to help put up and finance walls in Africa for several countries. Mexico has a wall to its south. Look at the Great Wall of China. And if walls did not work, as the liberals cry, take down the gates surrounding the White House. You don't need them. But when it comes to protecting them, they have walls upon walls protecting them. People are sick of it. I'm sick of it. that's the point I was making back, because I totally lost train of thought on the EMS thing. I have always done my career where I had gut feelings, and I ran with them. And I don't ever think I was wrong on my running with my gut. And several of the older guys that I learned from told me that's what you do. You go by what your gut says. And my gut says that Trump is actually going to try to follow through with securing this nation. Trying to end this immigration fiasco that's been going on for decades. My gut tells me that. That's why I back Trump. Not because of some of the rhetoric that he spews. Not because of what he has to say all the time. But because of what I've heard him say, I believe he is going to back and try to do. And I know some of the things he says he can't do as a president. But tell me a candidate that doesn't run their mouths about they're going to do this and they're going to do that, but they can't do. And you know what, Dave? If I'm wrong, I will say I was wrong. I got into it with a guy, and he's saying Trump wanted to punch people in the face and yada, yada, yada. And he kept just running his mouth about it, and I kept telling him, you're wrong. No. A buddy of mine sent video. Now, it didn't exactly back up what the guy had to say, but I did tell the guy I never heard that said before. I was given proof. I was wrong. I don't totally agree with the viewpoint he went. And even my buddy that sent it to me, he said it's not exactly proof that he wants to punch people in the face. But it was a little bit more than the punch in the nose comment that I heard him make. Everybody's got their feelings and everybody has their right to. Dave, I've never just, really, I'm not going to say you're wrong for how you feel, just as I'm not wrong. And if I am wrong, I would be the first one to say, holy shit. I'll be the first one to jump all over Trump if he doesn't act on what he says he's going to do. I'll jump all over him. I have no problem. When I got picked up by SHR and me and Sean were talking for the first time, I said one of the things I'm going to say up front is I'm not going to blindly back Republicans. If I see them doing something, I'm going to call them on it. And that's what I'll do with this. If Trump doesn't act, and trust me, because if he doesn't do it and I look like an asshole, I'm going to be, well, I am an asshole. I'm a royal asshole. But if it makes me look like an idiot, I'm going to be pissed and I'm going to call him out on it big time. With that, that's the show. I enjoy every day that you guys come here. When I first started with the guys, or really, I hadn't really done any, I was doing the podcast. And we talked real quick, and I had that show. I had booked Chris Perantu, and I've never done a live show, so me and him talked real quick about what was going on. But I enjoyed doing this for you people. I enjoy trying to get truths out there, whether it affects me or not. And with that, we'll see you tomorrow. Or no, tonight, 8 p.m., Reaver After Dark. I almost forgot about that. With the Jersey Boys. Jersey Joe and Crash. See you tonight. You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense with its host, Jersey Joe. You can tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on hppundit.com and shrmedia.com.